Hi everybody, Mark Victorsen from Pacific Golf Club. Just thought I'd show you the very latest in technology from Mizuno Corporation. We've got a club fitting system that involves a number of different tools to determine exactly the right sort of shafts that you should be using, and I think it's a wonderful thing, the shaft optimizer. For the purposes of today, I've put in my information here. I've put in what length club, I've put in my height, etc., distance from my knuckles to the floor, and then we're going to go and have a go with this little device here, the shaft optimizer. So what we're going to do, we're going to hit 3 shots and we're going to gather 4 separate pieces of information from this particular device. It's going to measure my tempo, which is my transition speed from backswing to forward swing. Okay, somebody typically with a fast transition, it's going to need a shaft's a little bit stiffer. Okay, somebody with a smooth transition is going to need clubs a little bit softer in flex. We're going to measure the toe down, which is the amount of bending in the shaft. The shaft actually droops that way. Okay, we're also going to measure the kick angle. Now the kick angle is how much forward deflection, because the shaft actually flexes this way on the downswing, and that's going to influence where those steps are in the shaft, whether it's a low kick point, a mid kick, or a high kick point shaft. And the other thing we're going to work on is the release, how I release the club into the ball. And this little device is going to be able to determine that and give us some advice on what it should be. If I release the club quite late, I'm going to need a club shaft with a slightly stiffer tip. Okay, if I'm an early releaser, Jack Nicklaus as an example was an early releaser of the club, whereas somebody like Tiger Woods is quite a late releaser. Okay, if I'm an early releaser of the club, I'm going to need it softer in the tip. So let's go and try those and gather that data. Okay, so rather than putting you through that process of watching me hit shots, I'm sure you'd rather watch Adam Scott do it. But we've gathered the information from 3 of those shots on the shaft optimizer. These are my results. So my average speed with a 6-iron was 79 miles an hour. My tempo is mid-range. My toe down, a little bit lower than mid-range in the toe down department. Okay, the kick angles are 4 and the release are 4. So I guess that information will now be determining what shafts I should use. So, yep, I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and review that. And basically, this is what it's come up with. It's come up with these shafts recommended for me. So it tells me that if I was going to be, if I was somebody who's got a leaning towards a steel shaft, I've got a number of different steel shafts here for me to use. You'll notice fairly light weights. Okay, and that's because of my tempo, so we need a slightly lighter weight. If I go to graphite, there's a couple of different graphite shafts there. One that's 90 grams, and remember some of these steel shafts were between 116 and 120 grams. So the graphite's lighter. My preference has always been for carbon fibre shafts, graphite shafts. And this Tour Spec Stiff I've tried and I really like. So, okay, I'm going to click on that one. That's what that soft stepping does. It just means that with my transition, it's able to accommodate my swing nicely. Now then, the next thing we do, okay, I determine what that shaft is. I go over here and have a look at different club heads. So these are the ones that, based on my handicap, either an MP4, that's a blade, an MP54, which is like a muscle back cavity, and the new MP15. These are all current models. They've just been released actually. And this one, this is the one I actually don't mind. I think I like the feel of that one off the club. So lie angle influences the direction that the ball goes. So the next thing we do is test for lie. So we change this head and put a lie angle head on there. It's got a number of different settings on that head, and it tells us just whether the club is either toe down or toe up at impact. I can tell you that for me, my club is toe down, okay, and there's a number of things that influence that. How tall I am, not overly tall, as most of you know, and the thing is where my wrists get to at impact. So my hands are quite low at impact, so I need to have this club adjusted down. For every 1 degree that's out, that's 10 feet of directional loss. So it's most important that that's right. So I can tell you right now that I'm in this range. I'm 59. Of course, if I was to go out and go through that process, I'm 2 degrees flat. Okay. Then we go and we talk about grip sizes. So we look, you know, what sort of glove size? Well, for example, I'm just a fraction smaller than standard grip. I take a men's small glove. Here are the different grips that are available that suit. I don't like a rib grip, the one with the reminder in the back. I actually like a round grip, and I like a rubber grip. So I'm going to pick that one. Okay. And then it's going to come up with, you know, the different options of what I want as far as, do I want hybrids? You know, I might want some hybrids in there. I might want a different style in there. So, or I might want to take the 3 and 4 out. I might want to put those in. I might want to put a 3. Let's just get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. I might want to put a 3 hybrid in there and a 4 hybrid. So it gives me lots of different options. And after I go through that process, I go through to where my wedges are. So it tells me really based on the lofts, if I just go back one, if I go back to the irons, it says that my pitching wedge in that MP54 iron, as an example, is 54 degrees. Is, where are we, 46 degrees. If I then go to the wedge optimizer, it's suggesting that I should have a 51 degree gap wedge. Because remember, all the irons have got stronger over the years, and you know, effectively a pitching wedge now is the same as a 9-iron was when I first started playing. So this is just a wonderful piece of technology. It really does determine exactly what shafts you should use, because there's some fantastic research and development that's being done on club shafts. And remember, it's the engine to the golf club. So if you want to find out what sort of shafts you should be using, get on the Mizuno shaft optimizer. It's absolutely brilliant. Cheers.